guys, I closed the game, I sipped my coffee, I restarted the game. We're back into the 11th election, week 11 of Divine Selection, only this time we're here for the second time, and hopefully things play out a little bit better, because last time, I guess we robbed Maharu's will to live by not accepting her feelings, which led to us getting basically betrayed, as I kind of suspected we would, because Maharu hasn't really made a secret about the fact she was going to do it. She did not protect herself when we elected her up, and we won, and we got our mind erased by Parka moving in and taking over our body, which was interesting to say the least. That was bad ending number 4. So now we're back in this election, and hopefully, I mean, the plan is to vote up Maharu again, just to trigger that stalemate, which is what we're shooting for. The question is Maharu going to defend herself this time? And I feel like the answer is probably yes. If it plays out the same way as it did before, that'll be very odd and redundant. And I guess maybe the theory that I had before, because we had the option to just not give Maharu an answer, or at least not yet, that might cause Maharu to put off this betrayal as well until she gets an answer. Like, she can't die without knowing that answer. But we'll have to see. I'll be a little surprised if things play out the way they did last week 11. I have a feeling Maharu is actually going to defend herself this time. I really hope she does. That would be nice. And we're back here. I believe this is literally the screen we started the last video on. Only this time we're dating. We got a girlfriend now. Can we hold hands? We're close enough to hold hands, right? Of the 12 platforms present in the Court of Fate, only 2 remain that participants are actually standing on. Maharu's and my own. Let's see how much of this dialogue changes, or if it's the same up until the betrayal. It looks like it's going to be the same up until the betrayal. A strange sense of sadness pervades the endless dreamscape. As usual, Parker's voice cuts straight through those sensations. We'll speed through this if it's going to be the same. Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. Perhaps that's a little overdramatic when only 2 of you remain. Neither of us react to her comment, causing her to press on. Tonight serves as the penultimate round of Divine Selection. Which of you will shoulder the burden of those who fell before you and become my vessel, I wonder? Definitely vessel, only a vessel. Well, neither of you seem intent on rushing things along. This is rather sad, I must admit. We had quite the rowdy crowd this time compared to past selections. Yep, all 12 of them. Or 11, I guess. How many times has Divine Selection taken place by this point? Huh, I never did bother counting now that I think about it. Let's see, I believe this marks the 12th. Imagine that. So much for not counting. Again, does the number matter? Now that we've done 12 12s of 12, is that the trigger point? Is that the end of the full ritual that now allows you to possess somebody? Maharu sighs before speaking. There's a special meaning behind this being the 12th time, though. I always figured that the 12 weeks and 12 participants was just due to 12 being a good round number. Like how a year is split up into 12 months, a clock into 12 hours, and so on. It's a common phenomenon the world over. Yeah, 12 is kind of a special number. There's a lot of mathematicians that think that we should be using base 12 instead of base 10, but that's a whole other discussion. The same can't be said after this revelation, though. It's too big of a coincidence for the number 12 to recur this much. Then again, I'm not sure if 12 is a lot in this case, since I don't know how much time passes between each selection period. Pardon me, I shouldn't indulge myself in too much chit-chat. I might give something away. Now that I think about it, something doesn't add up. Parker's always mindful of time passing in this procedure. Nice to see that grammatical error remained. She never just lets the participants talk till they're blue in the face. She always forces things forward eventually. Why would she do that, if this place is supposedly cut off from the normal flow of time? Enough chit-chat. Allow me to give tonight's selection. Parker makes her announcement before I can ask about it, though. The clock at the center of the Court of Fate begins to move shortly after. Will we have an election from you tonight, numeral 1? I elect numeral 2, Maharu. Oh ho? A hint of surprise washes across Parker's face. It soon swirls into a wicked grin. Ugh. This is the body I get to inhabit? To possess? To take over? Nyah! I like your gold streak, albeit for just a moment. The gold streak of the British. Perhaps she's realized what we're planning as she knows we're friends. Here I was under the impression that neither of you would elect the other. I do hope there are no unscrupulous plans behind this. Then again, holding doubts toward participants isn't part of my duty. She just keeps falling back on her duty. I don't think any of this is your duty. I think your duty is full of duty. Will you be electing her in response, numeral 2? I won't. I make eye contact with Maharu. She nods ever so slightly in response. This is all the same so far. With that decided, numeral 1 and 2 allow me to begin the election procedure. We placed our bets. Have we now? Will things be different this time? Our platforms begin to gradually ascend toward the upper stratum. If this does become a stalemate, what will Parka's reaction be? There's not much left to say at this point. Pick your cards and I'll protect myself just like we planned. Will you now? Will you now? Yeah. Once we arrive, we go over things before Parka appears. I hope this isn't just the same ending. If it is, I'm gonna start cutting stuff. This whole ordeal might just come to an end right here. Although unlikely, the possibility does exist. All we need to do is make us both incapable of becoming Parka's vessel. You don't think she has a backup plan for this? She won't be able to exist in the real world without one. She might be able to remain within the court of fate, but honestly, I don't care what happens to her. Lying bitch. What's important is ensuring that we both have a future. As wife and wife. That's why we're doing this. Are both of you ready? We've almost reached the grand conclusion. I must admit, I'm rather thrilled at the prospect. See, her eyes are purple. I thought they were amethyst. I gotta go back and watch that video before. Did she just change her eyes from purple to yellow? What happened there? I feel like if they were yellow originally, I would have noticed that. Purple to red, that's not as much of a transition. You still have an entire week after this to reach your final destination, although that seems to be of little concern to you. And what's going to happen when we get to the point of convergence as well? What's with the park? While rather petite compared to numeral 2, you may prove to be an appealing vessel nonetheless. I don't think you're in any position to judge my appearance. Goodness, you're not under the impression that your values apply to divine beings such as myself, are you? That would be silly. I hit a nerve, didn't I? Oh, she's going to hit more than just your nerve if you win this. Knowing that Maharu is going to protect herself helps to keep me composed. Again, do we know this? Maharu? Make wise choices. Part of me does fear Parka's reaction based on how pleased with this situation she is. Yeah, let's see what happens. We won't get anywhere without trying, though. Can we get this over with already? Maharu's on the same page as me. Is she, though? Parka pouts for a moment, but she quickly adopts a grin instead. If this doesn't work, we're just going to have to go back to don't give an answer. But we'll see. I really think Maharu's going to protect herself this time. Like, we've given her a taste of happiness here. She wants to at least enjoy another week or something. Do proceed, numeral 1. But then again, she may value Rinka's happiness so much that she's not willing to risk a weird outcome. Of course, a weird outcome is what she's getting, but... I nod and flip open my card book. What's going to happen? Picking out the 3 cards I need is an easy task. And we blast through them. Her name is Hebinata. Oh, I didn't even notice that typo before. Her name, Hebinata Maharu. I talk caveman now. Her cause of death is suicide. Her regret is me. I speed right through the election this time, even missing a word. Once I finish, Maharu opens her card book. Maharu, please. Please. I can't see too well thanks to the light, but I assume she's getting her cards ready as well. Please, Maharu. Maharu? You've opened your own book, I see. Are you planning on defending yourself? Yes! Yes! Oh, no! No! You're just going to have a wordier goodbye, Rick? Come on! Thanks, Rika. Opening up my card book should give us a few extra moments. What? What's going to happen? Huh? A cold chill runs down my spine. Oh, piss. What's going to happen? I have no idea what she's implying. Oh, I might. Well, I mean, I do. I'm just trying to convince myself otherwise. There's no way I can accept it. There's no way. Yeah, that. Taking our relationship a step further really made me happy. I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets, though. I told you, didn't I? My only goal is to ensure that you survive. Even if it cost me my life. I was afraid of this. We're gonna have to not give her an answer. Because then she's gonna have to cooperate with us to get one. You still got my cards, right? Come on, use them. My mind's a mess from the sudden change of events. I can feel my emotions going wild. I've done nothing but lie and keep things from you. Yes, you have. Please forgive me. I don't care about that. Just do what we planned and pick out my cards already. If you do, then I'll avoid getting my mind erased. Let me be blunt. I want to ensure that you survive no matter what. Things is, you don't. This is kind of a tragedy akin to the bad end we got with Rinka's grandmother. We gave up our information to save our grandma's life, and in the end it still didn't even work because Alan voted upscale anyway, and she still died. We just ended up both dying, just like Maharu's choice here is going to result in us both dying. But I want you to live as well. We've still got our whole future ahead of us. That's precisely why it's time for me to step down. I'm the one who chose to kill myself in the first place. I never had any right to prioritize myself over the other participants. How does your hair do that? Seriously, I need to know this. Have you got wires in them, or what's going on? You said you forgave yourself. I did. Then why? This is the answer I've reached. I'm willing to die in order to change your fate. But you're wrong. That's not the answer I want to hear. Parka's just snickering because she knows what's going to happen. She doesn't care. I'm not. My love for you is how I reached my answer. You say that like I don't feel the same. I know for sure that I was about to fall in love for the first time in my life. Come on, talk Maharu into playing her cards. Thanks, Rinka. It was obvious you felt that way, so I was satisfied. Don't be satisfied. We haven't even kissed yet. Come on. The audience hasn't gotten a makeout session yet. That's one of the reasons I said I'd be lying if I claimed to not have any regrets. Then, she closes her card book. A sign that my plea has fallen on deaf ears. Are we going to have this little moment here and then things are going to play out the same as before? There is no pain or anguish in her expression. She offers only a sincere, beautiful smile. That's not a smile. You understand the implications of closing your card book, correct? Do you even need to ask me that? Wait, Maharu, I'm not... Rinka. Maharu! Farewell. No! I've made my choice, so I won't pray that we meet again. Knowing the end was near made those 3 days we spent together all the more worthwhile. Don't do this! Don't leave me! See, now you're breaking Rinka's heart. I wonder if we reach some sort of resolution with the don't give an answer. That's maybe some sort of happy medium, or I don't know. I guess that's the one route where there's still some possibilities, eh? The cards I chose begin to move, as if my will had no further say in the matter. It doesn't. And in a moment, you're not going to have a will anyway. I try to reach out and snatch them back to no avail. Parka, I'm begging you, make it stop. At the very least, delay it until next week. It's okay, Rinka. You'll be the only one who knows about the 3 months we spent together following the start of all this. Just the idea that only you know certain sides to me makes me happy. What's there to be happy about? My 3 cards make their way to the center of the Court of Fate. Once there, light pours forth from them. Oh, is the card going to change? Shatter the card. That'll save Maharu, because her regret will be different. Do it. Do it. Calling this place the dream world couldn't be more appropriate. The time I spent with you until today really was a dream to me. So please live, live your life to the fullest. Bad news, Maharu. No, don't. It's really weird knowing what the other ending is. My overflowing emotions caused me to collapse onto my knees. There's no way for me to stop this. Maharu's gonna die again, and there's nothing I can do about it. There are sides to you that I only know as well. I'm even thrilled that I have you all to myself right this moment. I can't even see her through the light anymore. All sorts of special experiences await you from here on out. No, they don't. Should a time come when one of them surpasses what we had, then... I'm gonna assume that's just a bye. Maharu's voice fades as she speaks. Bye. Again? Rinka? My mind grows cloudy following that. Back to this, the scene shifts to that of a lone girl, the type of person with a tendency to beat themselves up in the face of any misfortune. Same text. This led to her desire for pain, a desire that never abated. She came to learn about the wickedness in people's hearts. the insatiable parasite known as jealousy. What's worse, she learned that she herself was a host for it. She decided to reject herself. Rejecting oneself while trapped in a mental prison was no simple task. It was something that could only be accomplished through death. Knowing this, she chose to put herself to rest. Her limp body and blood-drenched covers were reminiscent of a princess asleep on a bed layered with flower petals. Let's not glamorize this act game. Let's not do that. Well then. Maharu. Unable to bring myself to my feet after returning to the lower stratum. Is everything going to be the same now? Maharu has been eliminated. I saw the moment of her death as well. The same happened with you, Scale, and Alan. I elected all of them to keep my own life, and I even did it to Maharu. I sacrificed what's most precious to me. And Parka's going to laugh her ass off. Is this going to be the same? I'm just going to kind of go through here. Finally, the time has come. I shall claim you as my vessel. How else would you suggest that I express my joy over this? Fear. Yeah, you should be afraid. Hardly surprising when we now effectively share the same body. I'm just going to speed through this. Welcome to the recap. Okay, we do have a little bit of new text here. Thank God I learned how to rewind and fast forward. Upon closing my eyes, I see a number of dreams. I don't think we said this the last time. I'm not sure if I'm remembering them or if the light is responsible. Chan and Ro, who were eliminated without me ever knowing anything about them. I'm sure they had their own desires in the face of the brief hope they were given. Keiko, who entrusted her feelings for her child to me. I'm sure she and her husband shared those feelings, hence why a letter was never needed in the first place when naming it. I'm so sorry, Sonia. You wished for our happiness from the bottom of your heart, but I'm the only one who survived. I promise I'll show Pazaher more of the world for your sake at least. Will you now? Shigetsugu, who loved you as if he were his own grandson. Our time together was brief, and though I never really came to like him, I can't say I hated him. He had his own convictions in all this, not to mention the things he wanted you to learn. As for you, I can never forgive him for killing Naomi. The despair he went through is something I can't let myself forget, though. It represents the tragedies happening all across the world. His regret represented his desire to live a normal, simple life. Similar to my own, yet with a much heavier weight to it. He simply wanted that which he never had. So I can't hate him, despite what he did. Odette, whose strength never ceased to amaze me. She had accepted her fate, I'm certain. Death is simply the end result of life, after all. Her resolve to not look back is what allowed her to leave on her own terms. I can't condemn Scale for his attachment to life. That's why my only option was to eliminate him by my own will. I may not have been able to condemn him, but I could never see eye to eye with him. I only ever met Federico in the real world once, but his realization that he had been victorious left him shivering with joy. I'm not too sure about his life and how it played out, but I have no doubt that to him, it was worth it in the end. Alan, whose sister I resembled. His way of life was something I could never accomplish. That was precisely why I thought he was incredible. And Maharu, who taught me more about who I was than anyone else. I don't know much about being in love, but her confession was no doubt a turning point for me. One so major, it changed my entire outlook on how to live. Maharu, you're about to forget her. Grief overwhelms me once more, now that Park is done with her explanation. This is different from what happened with Naomi. Maharu won't come back, no matter what I do. I know that I'm going to feel even worse than I do now when I wake up in the real world. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. Even so, I need to live on. When is Parka going to take your mind over? I'll live my life to its absolute fullest. Parka's like, what if you were going to live your life to your absolute fullest, but then God said, oh, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. A voice rings out. An incredibly annoying voice at that. I stressed how important it was to me that you become my vessel, did I not? Let me share why. The voice gradually becomes more distant, but I already know. It's so I can claim your body as my own, of course. I know because, blip, I've been longing for you ever since you met numeral 2. Your meeting her was as much of a miracle for me as it was for her. Ensuring that you two remained bound together following that was a simple feat. Your fates had already been intertwined after all. Imagine a spiral in which you both served as the primary components, drawing yourself toward one another. Ha! Oh, that's her. I finally grasp my own consciousness. Parka's speech is a bit fuzzy, but I can more or less understand her. This has to be a different process from what she did with Maharu. Your very birth was the result of fate being twisted. Yep, also true. You may not have realized, but a sliver of the power accessible to my vessels already flowed within you. Oh, really? Just because she was born of 2 previous participants? That's why both your mind and body share the same essence as mine. Allow me to show you the product of a true miracle, one that wasn't possible with any other participant. Oh, did she actually interfere with the election itself to make sure that we lived? Then again, I doubt you'll be conscious by that point. If I had to describe what I'm experiencing right now, I'd liken it to having my insides thrown in a blender. The foreign object whirling around within me makes me want to throw up. If my understanding is correct, then she had one thing in mind. She wants to take control of my body. Is that something we're going to have a say in? I doubt it. That theory soon becomes conviction. I shall become a resident of the real world through your body. She really is trying to take control of me. Is that something we... Well, she did say we had an essence of her. Is that going to come back to bite her in 2 seconds? But I have no special powers of my own to speak of. Okay, well, maybe not. There's nothing I can do to stop her. Even so, I can't sit by and let someone wrest my own body from me. Not even Maharu was robbed of this. I won't let you have your way. I know my mind is being taken over, and yet I'm able to remain defiant. It doesn't change anything, though. Parka's will eventually overtakes my own. And the rest plays out as normal? The glow of the morning sun wakes me up. No reason it shouldn't, but let's see. I never would have guessed that light could sting the body this bad. Myths portray sunlight, blah blah blah. Hello, Leo. How have you been? Leo hisses at me. Oh, damn it. Hang on. Rewind time. They are yellow. Why are they yellow? That's not what amethyst means. What happened to your eyes? I don't know. Something wrong with them? Adorable girl, panicking, Naomi. Bookworm. Want to go hang out at the library like the kids do? I wonder how much of this I'll edit out. Let's see, there's some new text here. Once home, I decide to change into my pajama attire. I would have remembered the phrase pajama attire from the last route. They are somewhat revealing, yet still very comfortable. Like the outfit you were wearing before wasn't revealing. I leave the book I borrowed from the library on my desk. There's quite a lot on this desk, really. Is there a diary that you might be familiar with? By no fault of my own, I must add. A stuffed animal, a letter with nothing written on it, and a key? No, a keychain. Stuffed animal, that'll be Sonia's toy. The letter with nothing written on it will be Keiko's will. What's the key? Goodness, that hurts. I am assailed by a sudden headache. Oh, is Rinka trying to reassert? I don't think that's going to happen. My surprise at the pain causes me to revert to my natural speech. I must take care that this doesn't happen in public. I feel myself wanting to not look at these for reasons I cannot quite understand. Were they important to me, perhaps? I try to recall, but it feels as though the memories remain off limits. Well then, making my way downstairs to read this book seems like a novel idea. This is a cafe, from what I recall. A rather fine location for some reading. What a life I have inherited for myself. Are we still going to die? I can't imagine... Let's see. Are we still going to go to the fair? Goodness me, how bitter. Do we suddenly not like coffee? Oops. I revert to my speech pattern again. I place the blame squarely on this wretched coffee. Oh, but Rinka likes coffee. Cafes should be all about tea, and yet there's nary a drop in sight. Not but coffee as far as the eye can see. I attempt to make some myself, but the taste is just too much for me. Running this store also seems to be a part of my daily life, a fact that leaves me both anxious and excited. The store has remained closed for some time now, so cleanup is necessary. As such, I take some time to wash the dishes, cutlery, and the like. All this I can do out of habit. I seem to have been quite the hard worker. Now then, it is time to check for anything missing. Anything missing? Huh, isn't this... Diary? I noticed an unopened box while checking the cupboards. Oh, the mugs! The mugs! She's gonna find the mugs. A rather heavy one at that. I assume that as more cutlery is contained within. Far be it from me not to make use of new goods. Thinking that, I open it up. Well, if the other stuff gave you a headache, this sure will. A sharp pain stabs through my temples once more. Far worse than the previous episode. Another headache, I presume. Odd, considering I am supposedly not one to suffer from them often. Perhaps I'm simply not yet used to this body, leading to premature exhaustion. I should finish with haste and sleep early tonight. I have a long life ahead of me. It would be a shame to overexert myself at this stage. Oh, Rinka! Back. I'm back. I'll be back. Or fuck as in fuck off. 2 mugs are within the box. I take them out to inspect them. Both have mascots printed on them, although they don't seem to be made for children. I'm willing to assume they're not for use within the store. Back! I'm back! I'm back, baby! Upon closer inspection, I notice 2 names inscribed on them. Give my body back. Rinka Shishimai. That's me. Nope, not yet. The other says Naharu Mishima. A pair of mugs for good friends, I assume. Nope, we're more than friends now. Curious as I am, I'd much rather avoid another headache today. I can attempt to recall at a later date. Yeah, give it back! Rinka's not buried yet. Give it back. I hear a voice addressing me. Well, it's one I've been trying to ignore, but perhaps I should give it some attention now. Is Rinka living in your head like you used to live in Maharu's? Is this cause for concern, or is just Rinka using you as her Volvo now? It's coming from none other than myself, after all. No can do, my dear. All that you were now belongs to me. The pain caused by my headache worsens, leading me to collapse. Okay, this is interesting. Red eyes again. I was able to keep our promise. What promise might that be? About there being sides to myself and Maharu that only we knew about. Uh-oh. It's only a matter of time, I'm afraid. The memories you want to keep from me will unveil themselves the moment I grow accustomed to your body. Sorry, but they won't. It's my body, so it's about time you give it back. Quite the slow one, aren't you? My consciousness has already overwritten yours by this stage. Funny how you can say that despite me being able to talk to you right now. Even more hilarious is that you're the one who gave me a hint in the first place. Is this going to go back to what we said before, that she had a sliver of Parka's power? I said that was going to come back and bite her. You said something about my birth and fate being twisted, right? If I was born with a power similar to yours, then I should be able to copy what you did to me. That? No. Such a feat will prove impossible. I used the energy gathered within the Court of Fate to implant my consciousness over your own, energy that you lack. Trust me, you're in for a surprise. I know what's going on with my own body more than you ever will. Cease this at once. Should your consciousness remain intact, then it will be in a state similar to when I was housed in a vessel. You should count yourself blessed to have avoided complete erasure by my part. I'm sure you understand the possible outcome of trying to re-amplate yours. Don't worry, I won't fail. That energy you used was never yours in the first place. Are you implying that it having come from each participant's feelings makes it special somehow? Energy lacks free will, my dear. Surely you've never attempted to hold a conversation with electricity. You never know until you try. Failure will result in your complete erasure. You won't even be able to appear within the dream world. A clever individual would be satisfied with what they have. You may observe the world from within me. Besides, I'm having ever so much fun. I can't afford to give that up now. Shut up. That body's mine. I'm going to get it back. Very well then. Allow me to obliterate every last trace of you tonight. Well, we got a fight on our hands. Parker's just not going to shut up. The result of our finals served as the last chapter of my first semester as a second-year student at Amica. This sounds like we won. That would make this a different ending. Mao comes over to bother me while I'm taking a peek at them. I still don't feel like this is a good ending, though. I want to see what happens if we tell Maharu we'll answer her later. Yo! How'd it go? Managed to get over 60 for every subject. All that studying paid off. Ooh, good for you. I guess you didn't do as well. I share my results with pride, but Mal looks away from me. That makes it obvious I managed to outdo her this time. And man, 60s ain't that much to be proud of. Come on. I use this window of opportunity to snatch a report card from her, only to be shocked by what I see. Well, I mean, I'd hate to rain on your parade after you studied so hard. Never mind. She managed to score about 10% higher than me on every subject. She said she didn't want to rain on my parade, but I know that's not the case. She just wanted to take me by surprise. The proof is in the pudding. The pudding being her grin in this case. Let's forget about exams. What do you want to do for summer holidays? Naren's going to be on vacation with her family around the end of August. Said she's going to start going to cram school too. Youngsters these days sure work hard. We had already agreed to go to Stardust Kingdom next Friday. We have nothing else planned though. None of us are in any clubs, so there's little reason for us to come to school during summer. Naomi will probably drop by the library every now and then, but I have no intention of joining her. Sounds like we're Rinka. This sounds very not Parka. Oh, plus our eyes are red. I probably should have clued into that an hour ago. I tried to read that Shakespeare book that's sitting at home, but it's pretty boring. I'll probably see Mao a lot, but I'd rather all three of us be together if we're doing something special. There's one other thing, though. Something we have to do no matter what. Something I promised back then, with her. We need to go see the fireworks display, just like we promised. With Maharu. Huh? Did we plan on doing that? I'm kind of foggy on the details anymore. We did. Don't worry, I'm sure Naomi remembers. Oh, really? I guess we did then. Today's will be the first time in a while that we've all gotten together at Lion's house. I'm still not sure which part of my memory are correct in relation to the current world. But the thing is, I don't really care. Not now that Maharu's gone. I'd rather look to the future than think about the past. So Maharu's still gone, and we're Rinka again, and we actually did manage to beat Parka, because she did give us that hint. I still want to know what's in the diary. There's got to be a true ending to this game. This feels like a good ending, but I don't want good. I want full. I want to know what the hell's going on here. It is interesting that Rinka would retain some of this power/energy just as a sliver of it as a result of her being born of participants in the time of participating. That's interesting. I keep the store open until the evening, and after that, I spend some time relaxing. I'll think back to that night. Hey, how's Leth going to take us now? When I spoke to Parka following the 11th election, I'm sure my existence was on the brink of fading away, but I was able to re-establish dominance thanks to Maharu. Our knowledge of sides to us that no one else knew helped me keep control of myself. That's the only reason I can think of. Parka may know more than I do, but it's also possible that she doesn't exist within me at all anymore. I am, and forever will be, Shishimai Rinka. Right, time to sleep. Now, when Rinka dies, is it going to trigger a divine selection? That's the real question. It's that time of year when I start to get sick of how warm it is. I mean, now that we're going to find that out. Yeah, meow, hey, look at me, I'm back to normal. Leth plods in as I dive into bed. It jumps up and curls up beside me. Tonight would have been the night of the final election. I never did find out what would happen if Maharu and I had elected one another. I couldn't bring myself to finish the diary either. Ah! Oh, it hurts. It hurts bad. It is physically painful that we are not reading this. Not that I'd be able to decipher the English in it now that my card book disappeared along with the Court of Fate. Naomi lost most of her memories regarding divine selection too, so I doubt she'd take much pleasure in... Actually, this is Naomi. She'd probably love to read it even now. I might just be the only one left who knows about divine selection. That's fine. No one else needs to know. My knowledge alone should be enough to support someone. Mainly myself. Am I crying? Nah, I can't do that. I've long since exhausted my supply of tears. Is that it? Are we done? Oh, baby. More. I was wondering if we would get to the other route before the end of this video, but it looks like we're still going. What's happening? Effeminate dude. Can we get some answers? I think I'm dreaming for a moment, but it turns out I'm just in the dream world, where a voice I've become ever so familiar with speaks out to me. What's he gonna think of this? We effectively killed Parka. Hey, effeminate dude, are you impressed?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Wow. I gotta say, I never expected a mortal to set foot in our domain through their own power, even if for just a moment. You aren't the first, admittedly, but the last time it happened was under extremely special circumstances. Not to discredit your effort, of course. You erased all traces of Parka while proceeding through the end of divine selection. If that isn't an accomplishment, then I don't know what is. Pardon me, erased isn't quite the correct term. I'm sure you understand the meaning behind that little clarification. Now then, well, I don't. Perhaps it would be best for me to explain things to you. Yes, explain away. I don't need him to. Psy'Min does. I don't care about the past anymore. My eyes are set solely on my future. He seems to understand what I'm feeling, which explains his sudden smile. This will be the last time we meet, so I was hoping we could talk for a bit longer. Oh, buddy. We have a choice. Is this going to lead to a branch? Which one do I pick? I'm going to be honest and say I'm not. Well, I mean, I kind of am, because I recognize that we have a bit of power. I'm not familiar with the specifics of it, but I'll say I am. Just the sliver that Parka told us about. Perhaps I should have expected as much, given your ability to reach this stage. Did you opt to lead a normal life despite knowing? Or are you simply waiting for me to appear? Uh-oh. I feel like I've deprived myself of some information here. You see, the goddess's power itself lies dormant within you. Oh, so we don't just have a sliver of Parka, we've basically inherited her. So is it going to be as I was joking before? The next time we die, it's just going to trigger divine selection and we get to mess with 12 people. That'll be our turn. That'll be the sequel. I believe Parka referred to the energy as fragments of people's feelings, but make no mistake, it's an energy far beyond human understanding. It's fortunate that everything came to a close during that 11th election. The miracle that is about to unfold would never have occurred had you reached your final destination. Oh, now we gotta find out what that is. Maybe this is the happy ending. I'm not sure. You currently have the ability to alter fate, albeit only once. Can we bring Maharu back? That'll make it the happy ending. This doesn't surprise me. It's something I had already anticipated. It's felt like something irregular. It's been inside me for the past week. It's the same feeling as when Parka forced herself onto my body. There's only one condition, however. You know of the counterforce that exists to restore order to fate. It will activate after your alteration. Did we talk about the counterforce in this route? I sped through the dialogue and it was all dialogue we saw, but I think we missed the counterforce part. I don't know if it was there. And that's where I come in. I have the power to make the world forget about this, and I'm more than willing to do so once, for your sake. I really wish you wouldn't be so roundabout when explaining things. Just let me bring back Maharu. There's no way I'm going to understand any of this, so I wish you'd just be blunt. You've gotten pretty harsh, haven't you? Perhaps as a result of having to overcome the long and arduous trial known as divine selection. I don't know, man. This conversation is a little long and arduous, if you ask me. You have two choices available to you. The first is to create a world where all participants are still alive, rendering the primary juncture of causality obsolete. Okay, that would be the obvious happy ending. All memories of divine selection will be erased as a result, your own included. The world would attempt to revert itself back to its current state were you to remember. The second is to do nothing. Accept that you have this power available to you, but make no use of it. You may be able to attune yourself to the dreams of others for a while. Eventually, however, your body will grow accustomed to the power that sleeps within you, leading you to forget about it entirely. I myself will have forgotten about you by that time. You may not be as smart as a monkey, but your ability to remember things far outclasses mine. I don't bother to ask him how he knows about a conversation I once had with Mao. I remember that. Either way, this makes things much easier to comprehend. I just have to make a choice. Why would you ever not choose? As for me, Gee, I wonder which one I should do. Here we go. This has got to be the good ending, right? I'll do it. I'll make it so that none of this ever happened. By my own hand. Well said. In that case, all you must do is make a wish. I wonder how you even get the achievement for reaching the 12th election then, because this still doesn't take us there. I mean, this is kind of the 12th election, but it's not an election. It's week 12, but, you know. I do as he says. I have a feeling we'll reach election 12 if we choose not to give Maharu a response to her confession. Being alive is all that matters, even if it means both me and Maharu will forget about those sides of each other we came to know. Even if it means forgetting all about the other participants. Even if it means forgetting about Naomi's conviction to shoulder my burden with me. Even if it means forgetting about how I fell in love with Maharu. Even if it means forgetting about the time I spent with everyone. That's fine. Farewell, Renka. I pray that you find happiness in your future. Good things are bound to happen so long as we're alive. Again, Leth is curled up with us. I really feel like this is Leth, but we'll see. Surely we get a response on that. I really want to know what's in the diary. Is this credits? Credits and then we get our answer? Credits and then we get our happy... yeah, here we go. Is it just me or are they going really, really slow this time? I feel like the music is different too. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, this is the intro music. This isn't the music we got last time, was it? I would have remembered that, I feel like. Alright, well, that's cute and all. It sounds like we got a good ending, so are we going to see Maharu? We're going to go to the festival together, the fireworks. And then maybe we'll see Keiko and her husband with her baby. And we'll just not know who she is, but we'll just be like, oh, look at that couple there. Isn't that cute? But this definitely feels like a real ending now. Is this the good end? I mean, it has to be the good. Literally, everyone lived! Everyone lived! How could you get a better ending than that? What's a better ending? It's a little bit of an ass pull. Actually, it's a hell of an ass pull. Admittedly, it did set it up with the fact that the whole idea that, oh, we have this power too. You get to alter fate. Why not do it in the most meaningful way possible? I mean, I guess. Is there a way to speed this up? Oh! I straight up bang old blew past it. All right. Well, we've seen the credits already, so I don't feel bad about that. It takes me a while to drag myself out of bed upon waking up. That was jarring. I feel so drowsy today. I'll let a groan slip out while I take a big stretch. Today's the first day of summer vacation. It's also Marine Day, a public holiday. Nothing special has happened up until now. I have had the most boring summer, let me tell you what. That leads me to hope that maybe something will during summer. I go through my usual morning routine while daydreaming about such a possibility. What about Yu's death? I mean, Yu went out of his way to set off he was a suicide bomber. Did he just decide, nah? You can't change reality with wishes, though. Nah, of course not. What are you talking about? Part of me knows that I'll just spend time with my friends doing the same things as usual. Oh, God, my life is so boring. Nothing ever happens. Jeez. Or will we all meet here? Oh yeah, I'm not quite sure why I've chosen to come here today. This is the point of Convergence. Will we actually see everybody then? I was kind of half joking about seeing Keiko, maybe seeing someone else, who knows, in passing, but are we actually just going to see everyone and be like, why does this feel like deja vu? Why are we standing in a circle? I'm not quite sure why I've chosen to come here today. Why is this boisterous woman walking along, laughing her ass off? Punching this skinny-ass dude in the green suit. I feel like going for a walk, and before I know it, here I am. At Shinjuku National Park. I've been here with my gran plenty of times, so it's kind of a special place to me. The view of the clock tower from here is great, too. Here we go. Yep. I had a feeling. Hello, Chan-Chan. Excuse me, I'm looking for a hotel to stay at. I don't understand English anymore. Go away. A woman approaches me while I'm walking around. She seems like a tourist. It's actually pretty common to run into foreigners here. I don't speak English. Oh, or maybe I do. You may want to get out of the park first if you're looking for a hotel. Wait, this is a park? When did I even get here? Yeah, everyone's just here and doesn't know why. Bit of a weird thing to say when you need to pay to get in, but I stand with her while she whips out her phone. Beside her is a pleasant-looking man. I can only assume it's her boyfriend, based on how comfortable he seems to be with her. Or maybe he's her husband. Oh well, guess we'll take a walk around here first. Let's go, Bill. Thanks for the help! I guess she's speaking English. Is she using her Google Translate on her phone? Saying that, they skip away. She seems like the kind of person who just went with the flow, so it made sense that she'd randomly wander in here. The man with her was smiling about it though, so it must be a healthy relationship. Wait a minute. How did I talk to her just now? She was speaking English, a language I'm hardly fluent in. Yes, exactly. We're gonna have a weird little reunion with all the dead people here. I wonder if things move on. Like, are we gonna get extra bonus things? Like, something's gonna happen else. I can't imagine what, but... Now, this is a lovely place. I overhear a man in a suit. Why did Ro come here anyway? He died way too early for us to have any idea. He starts speaking to his family after that, but in Chinese. I can't understand a thing they're saying. I noticed an interesting duo after some more walking. Yeah, it's going to be Odette and Federico. They seem pretty spirited, to say the least. Yep. Hey, mind explaining why we're wasting time in a place like this? Huh? No reason, dumbass. We're going to be spending a fair bit of time in this country, ain't we? Might as well enjoy the culture while we're stuck. I guess we ain't got a choice since your boat sank. I ain't complaining, though. Can't see any of them chasing me all the way out here. We know a little bit more about Federico now. He's still on the run from the mafia. But damn, the Italian wine they sell here is way too expensive. Yeah, you probably went to a crappy bar then. Let me take you to a real nice dive later. Heh, as thanks, you can foot the bill. Like hell. Now here's a photogenic pair. Mind if I snap a picture? Hey, you might want to wait for an answer first. Don't worry. I'm not posting any of these online. They're all pretty tall people, but you can mistake them for high school kids with the way they're acting. It's funny. They've just met, but I get the feeling they've known each other for years. Here we go. Muscular man. I'd appreciate it if people weren't so noisy in a place like this. A dark-skinned young man complains about them from not too far away. Amrita keeps going on about wanting to study here, but perhaps I should change her mind personally if this is the sort of country it is. There's Keiko. Woman carrying literally carrying baby, not pregnant. I was like, she's given birth by now. Japan's quite the lovely place. Yes, convince her mother. Yeah, don't try to kill babies anymore, Alan. You know, leave her baby alone. Okay. So my baby's 3 months old now, and you're telling me why? So you don't strangle it. You seem awfully stressed, so it's just my way of helping you relax. No one wants to spend a holiday feeling like that, right, Haruki? I'm here on business, actually. I could say your concern is unwarranted, but perhaps it would be wise to let myself relax while here. Today's full of conversations between randos. Yeah, where's Sonia? Where's you? I assume you is still okay. Odd as this seems, I doubt someone's going to pop up and explain the reason why to me. Yeah, they just might. There's, yeah, mysterious girl. Yes, that's who this is. You're down in the dumps today, are you? I made out pretty well, so let's get some ice cream. Yay, Pachinko! Okay. An old man and his granddaughter pass by. The girl has a golden key attached to her backpack. Was that the key? Because we mentioned the key that was on our dresser. Parka mentioned seeing it. I had assumed it was Yu's key, but I don't remember actually getting it from him. Next, I hear the energetic voice of another girl. She seems to have overheard the conversation that just... Oh, is Sonia about to beg her parents for ice cream? I think she's the only one we haven't seen yet. There she is. Father, I want to eat ice cream as well. She's walking along with her parents while carrying a stuffed animal. They seem like a wealthy family, but more importantly, a happy one. Say hello to the nice lady over there, Pasahir. She makes her teddy bear bow at me. I don't deal with stuff like this very well out of the blue, so I just bow back. Don't know if that's an appropriate response, but she's already run off to catch up with her family at the ice cream stall. Today's quite a lively day in the park. Kind of feels like I've fallen into Wonderland, but whatever, who cares? Just as I'm about to head back home, I notice a familiar oh, of course. I was saying to myself, we've seen everyone from Divine Selection except Sonia. Nope, there's one person we haven't seen yet. One person left. I sneak over toward her before planting myself down right next to her, just like we've done before. Aww! You're not as stealthy as you think, Rinka. Heh, yeah, I know. What brings you here? I wanted to see you. Same as always then. This is a nice cuddle. I lean in close to her. She's pretty tall, so I end up resting my head against her arm. Let's get a nice little shot of that. Aww. Rinka, I feel exhausted for some reason. Maharu's face lights up a bit, but she eventually leans in toward me as well. There's nothing special about today. We're just living out our normal lives. It's our one and only shot at life. A black cat sits with its back toward the sunset. Leth, you fucker. I still remember when I was joking about you being the mastermind. That's... With one meow, it resumes yet another of its leisurely strolls. Leo. Like a Dream World. Okay, this was the achievement that I saw everyone getting before week 12. Yep. Achievement unlocked. Like a Dream World. And now I have access to the extras. Now we have access to the CGs. Achievement unlocked. Memories. So I was wondering when we get access to the CGs. We don't have all of them yet. I forget this one. I mean, I remember it now that I see it. It's like we go through them. Are you going to make the yummy yummy for your tummy? Blush. Yummy yummy for your Yeah, I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Saw this one a lot. Saw this one a lot. What else we got? We're going to have some blanks that we haven't filled in yet, I don't think. Like the one we just got with Maharu and Rinka on the bench. That's a new one. Odette voting out Ro like a boss. Alan voting out whoever, because he did it 3 times. There's Keiko making her confessions. Sonia. These are all ones we got on our first playthrough. Bath scene, of course. You cutting a potato. Thinking a potato is an onion. Rinka, or Maharu, Naomi, I should say. Naomi just there. Dead like 4 times. Rinka somehow busting a move when dealing with you at Tokyo Tower. I still don't know what that stance is supposed to convey. Rinka finding her conviction there. Talking with Alan. Us with you on the train, you burning alive, us voting him out. Odette and remembering stuff. There's a memory we don't have yet. There's a confession. There's a JoJo pose. There's Alan. There's Amrita. Do we get to see multiple? There and then, yep, there she is. See, she's the one with the gold eyes. Parka's got purple eyes. We've got red eyes, but somehow Parka possesses us and gets Alan's eyes for God knows what reason. What else we got? One I haven't gotten. There's Mao with her manga. There's Maharu with her, just the rest of her exit. There's that. We got a whole ton of stuff we haven't gotten yet. Whoops. I canceled out. But extra is just extra. So what's replay? Achievement, A Young Girl's Trail. So... Okay, I said before, ending. What happens here? I can only pick Divine Selection. What happens when I pick Divine Selection? Oh, I get to... Is this the chapter select? Oh, there's different versions of... 7? 7. Would that be the one where we voted out you? Because that would make sense if we... made a deal with Odette and got a bad selection there. What would be bad Divine Selection 9? Would that have been if we ignored Alan? Would that have led to a different bad ending? And what's the remaining... Again, endings. Ending. What's the remaining good ending? I feel like the top 3 are good endings and the bottom 2 are bad endings. Maybe. Huh. Interesting. So what happens if we I'm just going to try picking the ending we just got. Where does it start? I'm curious. It takes me a while to drag. Drowsy. Okay, so this is... Yeah, this is us getting our body back. End replay. So it doesn't take us back to the moment when we were... when Parka was briefly inhabiting us. Alright, well, okay, so that is it for now. I guess next time we will try taking up Maharu. Well, not taking up Maharu, not giving her an answer. Instead, we'll just say, but I refuse. Like, you'll have to wait longer. And that will probably lead to Maharu actually defending herself, because she'll insist on not dying before she at least gets some sort of answer. Because I don't have the achievement for 12th week election, because there hasn't been a 12th week election. The only way there's going to be a 12th week election is if Maharu quits sacrificing herself week 11. So that's probably going to happen if we refuse to give an answer, and then we'll see what branch that takes. And after that, we'll just see what else we have to do. But I have a feeling that taking that route means we'll actually get to find out what's in the diary, and maybe we'll find out a bit more about Leth as well. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this ending. I have a feeling I'm going to cut some of this out because it's me speeding through dialogue, so hopefully it doesn't end up too short. But we got our first good ending. Again, it still feels like an ass pull for everyone to have survived. But if that's what happens, I guess that's what happens. In the meantime, next time we will probably be shooting for that stalemate. Because if Maharu defends herself, then she can't sacrifice herself on week 12, right? If she stalemates, then we're done. The game ends in some other way, and we're just going to have to find out what Parka's plans are then. They may not be good ones, but we'll find out next time. And again, we're still waiting for some answers. We got a good ending. We got what could arguably be the happiest ending. But we don't know everything yet. And we're going to find out what it is next time. Take care. Make sure you're following the channel, the Twitch, the Twitter, all that good stuff. Again, I'm just going to keep suggesting that you do. Repetition is hypnotic like that. But I'll see you then.